Thanks so much for joining our webinar today. We're going to go over some of the main energy efficiency rebates available to Alberta businesses. We're also going to show you how you can improve your business's cash flow, improve profit, and lower your environmental footprint. A few housekeeping things. Feel free to turn off your microphone and your camera since we have quite a few attendees. It might make it easier to follow along. At the end of the webinar, we'll take some time to answer some of your questions. At that time, we'll have everyone type their questions into the chat, and I'll answer them in the order that they were received. Here at Origin Energy, we're passionate about sustainability and the future of energy infrastructure. And as we all know, Alberta is going through a period of economic transition. We believe energy efficiency and sustainable technology can play an important part in diversifying Alberta's economy. So we specialize in energy audits and the installation of energy efficiency measures. So essentially what we do is help people and businesses save money and lower their environmental footprint. I'm Jason Gravel. I'm the founder and chief visionary officer of Origin Energy. And I started Origin because I want to help eliminate the barriers to people adopting cleaner technology. And with me today is business development manager Frederick Fernandez and Michael Knisley, who is our chief operating officer. So today we're going to talk about the ESB program, what measures qualify for the program. We're going to go into more detail about some of the more common measures. We're also going to talk about the process and how it works with Origin and how you can get started with a project and a rebates application. Lastly, of course, as I mentioned, we're going to open it up to questions. The Emissions Reductions Alberta Energy Savings for Business program is meant to help Alberta businesses reduce emissions, decrease their operating costs, boost the economic recovery, create jobs, and diversify the economy. Eligible organizations include, but are not limited to, individual businesses, nonprofit organizations, cooperatives, private schools, the common areas of residential buildings, and farms that are registered as a business. It's a $55 million fund available on a first come, first served basis. At this point, the program is 42% subscribed, even though it only launched a few months back. So it's been quite a popular program. Projects can receive up to $250,000 per project or up to a maximum of $500,000 per parent company. The rebates can cover between 25% to 50% of an eligible project. But the minimum rebate that you can qualify for is $1,000. So if for some reason the project that you're considering only has a rebate of under 1,000, you might want to include other measures in order to bump that up so you can take advantage of it. The rebates also cover the cost of an energy audit as well as the installation, as long as the audit was for the purpose of assessing the eligible measure. Energy efficiency measures can be the best investment available to business with returns that can be up to 5 times better than the stock market. And they have the added benefit of helping you lower your business's environmental footprint. And we're going to go into more detail about some of the more common energy efficiency measures like LED retrofits, solar, combined heat and power, motors and drives, windows and building envelope. But the ESB covers a lot of other measures as well. So to name a few so you have an idea, it will cover compressed air measures, process heating, water heating, refrigeration, food service equipment, HVAC systems, water heating, geothermal, agricultural lighting, boilers, occupancy sensors, and a lot more. First, we're going to start off talking about LED retrofits. Converting your old lighting to LED is the best bang for your buck when it comes to energy efficiency measures. Of all the measures, it can save the most and has the fastest ROI. A typical return on investment is between 1.5 and 4 years, and the rebates range from about $5 to $125 per device, or up to 25% of the project. In an actual example we did for a local granite countertop manufacturer, the installed cost was $40,000, and the lifetime savings was forecasted at $600,000. And that would make the ROI at about 3.4 years. So the return can vary depending on the building specifics, the existing lights, but the key thing is that the savings comes from both the direct energy savings as well as the indirect maintenance savings. LED lights consume about 75% less electricity. Fluorescent and high intensity discharge light bulbs and ballasts burn out every couple of years and need to be changed. So there is a regular cost associated with both the labor and that material. By and large, LED lights can last 25 years or more without needing any kind of maintenance. So something to keep in mind, fixtures with the best ROI are those 2 foot by 4 foot fluorescent troffer fixtures you often find in offices. Most of the time, they'll pay for themselves in 1.5 years, especially with those rebates we've got right now. So high intensity discharge or high bay lighting you commonly see in warehouses or shops give off low quality and poor light color when they're dying. And if you're interested in seeing the difference in light quality and electricity consumption, I put together a YouTube video showing the difference. Maybe Fred, you can go ahead and post the link in the chat. So solar is becoming very popular in Alberta, so much so that Alberta is leading the country in new solar projects. Solar isn't just about offsetting your own electricity consumption. It's also a great way to offset extra premiums charged by the utility companies. Sometimes businesses like manufacturers have to pay power factor or demand factor premiums. So you can do something called peak shaving to offset those premiums, and this strategy can significantly reduce the ROI of solar. So depending on your business, the ROI can be between 8 and 15 years. Unfortunately, though, due to the popularity of solar, the rebates for conventional solar are already fully subscribed, and they filled up in just a matter of weeks. However, there are still rebates available for solar air heating. Given its popularity, we really hope that there'll be more rebates soon. And so using a typical 10 kilowatt solar system as an example with normal electricity consumption with no extra premiums, the install cost would be around $25,000. And the ROI would be about 15 years. But I'll have to admit, as much as I love solar, generally the ROI for solar isn't as good as some of the other common energy efficiency measures that we're talking about today. What it can be good for is when you have a remote farm or business and it would cost too much to bring an electricity utility line out there. A utility line can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars sometimes, and it can be more cost effective to install an off-grid solar system. Upgrading motors and drives are another way to decrease your business's energy consumption. You commonly see these in HVAC systems, in offices and retail, or in manufacturing operations. And there's two different things that can be done. You can replace an old motor with a more efficient one, or you could add something called a variable frequency drive, or VFD, that reduces a motor's energy consumption. As a motor speeds up, their energy consumption is exponential. So a VFD will only run the motor as fast as it needs to run for your particular application. So depending on your use case, you can see an ROI between 5 to 10 years. The rebates are up to 50% of the unit. And using an HVAC system as an example, the cost to install would be about $5,000. The ROI would be about 5 years, and you'd see a lifetime savings of around $90,000. And the most common use for VFDs is in industrial fans, pumps, and manufacturing operations. For big or high energy consuming operations, combined heat and power systems can be a great way to reduce cost. And now, for the most part, this is only practical for large manufacturers. But how it works is because natural gas is so cheap, you can install a CHP system that generates electricity, and you can use the excess heat output of the engine to heat your building. This results in significant energy savings as you can offset high electricity consumption and high electricity premiums. And you can also offset the cost of heating your facilities. You can also use that heat discharge to warm or heat water or anything else you may need to heat in your particular circumstances. And a typical return on your investment would be between 4 and 8 years. And the rebate would cost about the rebate would available would be between $400 and $500 per kilowatt, or up to 50% of the project. And using an oil and gas manufacturer as an example, the install cost would be about $200,000 with an ROI of about 5 years and a lifetime savings of about $830,000. CHP systems have historically been used in remote oil and gas facilities, but it's starting to get a lot of interest from manufacturers and farmers as well. Another important area to consider when trying to make your business as energy efficient as possible is making sure your building's envelope is in good condition. I think this is an area that's often overlooked in businesses, especially fabrication shops and manufacturers. The ESB is offering rebates for air curtains, door dock seals, ceiling and wall insulation, and high efficiency windows. And these rebates could be up to $4,500 per unit, or 50% of the project. And high performing building envelopes don't just lower energy consumption, they lower mechanical load on heating and cooling system, which reduces maintenance as well. Although poor building envelope can be a bad thing, but sometimes education and behavior can go along well also. I mean, for example, making sure your employees close bay doors in the winter can have a huge impact on your energy consumption. So how do you get started? First things first, register on the ESB website and select Origin as your contractor. We'll paste the website in the chat. We're listed as Origin Electrical Ltd in the portal. Then get in touch with Fred. We'll also paste his contact info in the chat. Fred will arrange a meeting with you. We'll chat with you. We'll learn about your pain points. We'll learn about what your goals are. And that could be anything from saving money, lowering your environmental footprint, to improving the health of your employees, improving your business's brand image. After that, we'll visit your site and do a free walkthrough assessment and help you identify energy efficiency opportunities. Then we can provide a detailed proposal of the measures that you've decided to proceed with. We'll take that proposal, we'll submit the ESB application on your behalf. The ESB reviews and approves the application and locks in the rebate amount. And the ESB program then expects the project to be finished within a specific timeline. When the project is complete, we'll finalize the application. You can elect to receive the check for yourself, or you can have it sent to us and we'll deduct it from the amount or from the cost of the job. Thanks again for joining us today. We're looking forward to helping you save money and lower your environmental footprint. Thanks so much.